Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome back to the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. If you have the privilege of watching this recording on YouTube or Spotify, then you already know what the treat is. Welcome to Peri. I have done what I said I would. I said on our last conversation that I would see you in Paris, and it's great to see you in Paris. I wanted to, with that note, actually speak about the power of our word, keeping our words intentional. And with that, I'm going to make this quick because, as you know, we're traveling through Europe and we have to quickly kind of set up our equipment here. We're dealing with light challenges, sound challenges, not always wanting to make sure we have a great aesthetic for those that are able to stream the actual video and see the scenery behind us, behind me. And with that comes a lot of surprises, right? Like, we've never stayed in these places before, although we're trying to make sure that we're selecting great locations that will serve something that's authentic to each city that we're visiting this summer. And so, yeah, we've been just enjoying the journey and figuring it out as we go. And hasn't that been the theme so far? If you've been listening through, episodes 40 and 39, and we've been talking about trusting the process, going with the flow, allowing life to surprise you while you're getting lost. And so we are very much enjoying it. And when we think back to only about, a couple months ago, when we decided to take our podcast on the road and kind of just stay there, we knew that would come with challenges, but we also knew more than that we would be embracing those challenges, that we'd be having fun, that we would be allowing God to surprise us. And you know what? It's been nothing but playtime the entire time. So thank you so much for being a part of it. When we're talking about the power of our word, we understand that our word is our spiritual gifts. We create everything with our words. Now, I remember having a conversation with a friend a couple years back, and he was saying, no, it's not so easy that we just speak things into existence. Things either happen or they don't happen. And, I'm not one for getting into a heavy debate. I'm one to plant seeds, and I intend for them to grow, but I'm not intending to remain in some spiritual debate with anyone. I have no points to prove. I want to just drop the seeds and know that they're going to flourish at some point with you, within you. And the beautiful thing is, regarding that friend, only 2 years later, today, he understands the power of our words. And so I wanted to just drop that testimony here. When we look around in our life today, you are able to see what it is that you have been speaking over your life, that you have believed over your life, because that is your reality today. Whether you believe that the laws of life, the power of our word are creating, whether you believe that to be fact or not, the truth is it is always working as intended. It is always working to create everything that you are believing and in speaking over your life. So just pause for this moment. Think about the relationships you keep, the job you have, the clients you work with, how your days are spent, how you're feeling. Are you living in joy and in peace? Or are you living in anxiety and fear? Everything has happened according to your words that you're speaking over your life. What you're believing is what you're speaking over your life. And so it is. Your spiritual gifts are powerful. They are creating according to the power of your words and the power of your beliefs. So when I started learning on being intentional with my words, I started seeing a shift in no time. I spoke a little bit about before in one of our previous conversations about I don't even let any type of damaging or hurtful words come out of my mouth. And that means anything. That means whether I want to, go out to a fine dinner with a friend and maybe it's not in my quote unquote financial budget this week, I'll say that, oh, that's not in my plans this week. If it's something that I'm speaking about, if it's something that you cannot financially, I'm going to say it, although I don't say this in my life, if it's something you cannot financially afford, instead of saying, oh, I don't have the money for that, or I'm too broke for that, I can't even say that word, or I can't afford that. Oh no, none of those words are in my vocabulary. It has been years since I've used any of those words. I replace those words where, oh, that's not in my plan this week, or I'm spending my time and my resources another way this week. Primarily, because I have been intentional with my word, because I'm keeping my words lifted over my life, then when I intend powerful things that I just intend to bring, to create, to manifest in my life, like trips around the world several times a year, where I have to pause here. I didn't necessarily know where all those resources would come from. I just know the power of my word. And I know that if I speak and I say, I'm going to take a trip around the world and stay there for an entire summer, that's all I need to do. And trust and believe that God will bring the resources to fund the dream, which is what you see happening right now. God has and is 100% funding this dream to take the ultimate love letter around Europe and Asia for the summer. God has funded this because I intended it with my word, because I am trusting that He is guiding and He's leading me here. When we're talking about being intentional, we have to start somewhere. You cannot speak words over your life and then not keep your word. For instance, if you promise to see a friend on the weekend and then you're okay in your spirit by not seeing that friend or not properly canceling with that friend, if you just say, oh, yes, I'll see you this weekend, and then you don't see them and you have no regard for that, that's not being intentional with your word. Your word means nothing. So then we become wishy-washy with the universe, wishy-washy with God, wishy-washy with our word. All of a sudden, then the divine says, I don't know if you're speaking true, or I don't know if you're speaking facts, or I don't know if you really want to create this. You say one thing, but then you do quite another. So when we're trying to manifest anything from that space, we're going to miss almost every time because we haven't been intentional with our word. We haven't done and said the things that we truly mean. So it is okay if we set a plan and we intend to do a certain thing on the weekend, for instance. But the power of our word is you absolutely want to keep that promise. But things come up, life happens, and that's okay. But then we set another intention with the friend, with the appointment that we have, and remained in reverence and respect to say, okay, I won't make it this time, but we will get together another time. So then we're remaining in alignment. I hope that wasn't a little bit confusing. I would like it to come out a little bit differently, but it's just coming out the way I can, speak to it. But allow me to speak to the power of our intention. But the power of our intention means if we say, I'm going to have dinner at this grand location this weekend, you go and you have dinner at that grand location that weekend. If you say you're going to travel around the world this summer, then you move according to that. You move in a way where you're not fearful of being lost in life, or not fearful of, maybe I have to take this trip alone because a friend's not coming. And you're not fearful of, well, what do I do when I get there? No, you set the intention. It's time to go, and allow God to guide you through the entire process. Once you start speaking intention over your life like that and you move accordingly, you will find that you will be able to intend great things over your life. Bigger items, bigger adventures, bigger experiences. And every single time you speak whatever it is, God will get behind you and support you, because all God, the universe, the divine, knows is that anything that you're saying with your words, you intend to create in your life. So then the laws will say we have no choice but to get behind her, because everything she says, she does. That is being intentional. We all know that one person who just talks for no reason. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Or oh yeah, I'm going to buy that house. And oh yeah, I'm going to get that job. And oh yeah, I'm going to buy that new car. And then they do nothing. These people are not being, yes, intentional with their word, but they're not being, what is another word? These people have no regard. They don't understand how their words are creating their reality. They're just being frivolous with this power. So they're creating essentially pain, misalignment, disarray, confusion. Why? Because you're using your spiritual gifts against you. Do you understand the power of your words? If you did, you would only speak the most powerful things over your life. Only those things that you want to come into your life would be the only words that come out of your mouth. So when we are careless with our words, when we don't give a crap about what we're saying, and we don't have any intention on fulfilling what's coming out of our mouth, then you will see the effects of that in life. 100%. So as I said earlier, if you were to take a peek around your life right now, you will be able to see the way you have been speaking over your life to yourself and to others by what has been created. My intention for you is that you step into your powerful gifts, which is your word. And that you use your word right now, today, intentionally. You're not fooling anyone when you are just speaking nonsense, when you are speaking lies, when you are speaking non-facts, when you are speaking anything less than the truth. Do yourself a service and only speak the truth over your life. And whether it may or may not be true today, for instance, if you're speaking over your life financial freedom, and even though that may or may not be physically true in your life, although it is always spiritually true, because we are divine. We are created in God's image. It is our birthright to live financially free, abundant in every area. So that is already true. So you are okay to speak that. You are cleared. You are actually encouraged to speak abundance over your life because that is true. Even though you may not see it in reality, right? You may not see it with your eyes. When you speak from this place of truth, you will then create a space for this to become true in the seen. So out of the unseen and into the seen. Speak everything that you intend to create and nothing that you do not intend to create. Understand how powerful you are. Understand the divine gifts that you were given to create everything and anything you want in this life. The wind is picking up, the winds of change. So on that note, I'm going to go off into the unknown of Paris, and I intend to see you in our next destination of Italy. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing, following our YouTube channel, following our Spotify. If you're listening on Apple, thank you so much. Thank you for all those that continue to tune in and be here each week. That was an intention of mine almost 4 months ago. You see how that works? Intend on magic and it will be yours. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.